Hello, welcome everyone.
Hello, Vineet.
Hello, Devamma. Hello, Ravalia. I hope you all are
Hello, sir. Good evening.
good evening. Good evening. So we are going to start. I have been told from this place, PDF page number 212, and in the book it is page 205. Split happens. Okay. I hope you all know where that part is. Yeah, both of you know. We'll start. So the title Split Happens. It's kind of a metaphor for shit happens, but I think so. Walmart started small. So did Microsoft. So did Apple. So did General Electric and Ford and almost every other company that made it big. They didn't start by acquisition or spin off or achieve mass scale overnight. Nearly every company or organization starts the same way with an idea. No matter whether an organization grows to be a multi billion dollar corporation like Walmart or fails in the first few years, most of them started with a single person or a small group of people who had an idea. Even the United States of America started the same way. At the beginning, ideas were fueled by passion, that very compelling emotion that causes us to do quite irrational things. That passion drives many people to make sacrifices so that a cause bigger than themselves can be brought to life. Some drop out of school or quit a perfectly good job with a good salary and benefits to try to go it alone. Some work extraordinarily long hours without a second thought, sometimes sacrificing the stability of their relationships or even their personal health. This passion is so intoxicating and exciting that it can affect others as well. Inspired by the founder's vision, many early employees demonstrate classic early adopter behavior. Relying on their gut, these first employees also quit their perfectly good jobs and accept lower salaries to join an organization with a 90% statistical chance of failing. But the statistics don't matter. Passion and optimism, passion and optimism reign and energy is high. Like all early adopters, the behavior of those who join early says more about them than it does about the company's prospects. The reason so many small businesses fail, however, is because passion alone can't cut it. For passion to survive, it needs structure. A why without the house, passion without structure has become has a very high probability of failure. Sorry, I'll say it again. A why without the house, passion without structure has a very high probability of failure. Remember the dot com boom? Lots of passion, but not so much structure. So the dot com boom is something which happened around 1990s and early 2000s, where the internet really came to life and a lot of e-commerce sites, especially in the US, started growing. And like what you see today, Amazon and the Netflix and YouTube. So early versions of that, they started in that was called the dot-com boom. So he's saying a lot of energy, a lot of passion, but not so much structure, not so much discipline, not so much organization, not so much logical follow up after the passion. That's what he's trying to say. The Titans at Endicott House, however, did not face this problem. They knew how to build the systems and processes to see their companies grow. They are among the statistical 10% of small businesses that did fail in their first 3 years. In fact, many of them went on to do quite well. Their challenge was different. Passion may need structure to survive, but for structure to grow, it needs passion. I'll say it again, it's a complicated line. Try and note it down. Passion may need structure to survive, but for structure to grow, it needs passion. What it means is first you start with passion, then you get rules and discipline. But because life is so dynamic, if you stay stuck with only the letter of the law, if you just stay stuck with exactly what the rule means without ability to change and modify the rules with time, then you will grow stagnant. And to do that, you need passion. To modify the rules, you need passion because it takes a lot of effort. So that is what he means by that. This is what I witnessed at the gathering of Titans. I saw a room full of people with passion enough to start businesses and with knowledge enough to build the systems and structures to survive and even do very well. But having spent so many years focused on converting a vision into a viable business, many started to fixate on what the organization did or how to do it, poring over financial or some easily measured result and fixating on how they were to achieve those tangible results. They stopped focusing on why they started the business in the first place. This is also what happened at Walmart. A company obsessed with serving the community became obsessed with achieving its goals. Like Walmart, the Endicott entrepreneurs used to think, act, and communicate from the inside out of the golden circle. Like Walmart, the Endicott entrepreneurs used to think, act, and communicate from the inside out of the golden circle, from why to what. But as they grew more successful, the process reversed. What now comes first, and all these systems and processes are in pursuit of those tangible results. The reason the change happened is simple. They suffered a split and their why went fuzzy. What he means is they started out with why, with passion and energy, but then they became so obsessed with the rules and regulations, the structure which they made, they just lost the passion somewhere down the way. So he's trying to say have a balance between passion and discipline. The biggest challenge is success. Money or other metric, what and why. If it's a graph of if the why stops and only the what keeps increasing with time. The single greatest challenge any organization will face is success. When the company is small, the founder will rely on his gut to make all the major decisions, from marketing to product, from strategy to tactics, hiring and firing. The decision the founder makes will, if he trusts his gut, feel right. But as the organization grows, as it becomes more successful, it becomes physically impossible for one person to make every major decision. Not only must others be trusted and relied upon to make big decisions, but those people those people will also start making hiring choices. And slowly but surely, as the megaphone grows, the clarity of why starts to dilute. Whereas the gut was the filter for early decisions, rational cases, and empirical data often serve as the sole basis for later decisions. For all organizations that go through the split, they no longer, for all organizations that go through the split, they are no longer inspired by a cause greater than themselves. They simply come to work, manage systems, and work to reach certain preset goals. There is no longer a cathedral to build. The passion is gone, and inspiration is at a minimum. At that point, for most who show up every day, what they do is just a job. If this is how the people feel on the ins if this is how the people on the inside feel, imagine how those on the outside feel. It is no wonder that manipulations start to dominate not only how the company sells its wares, but even how they retain employees. Bonuses, promotions, and other enticements, even instilling fear in people, become the only way to hold on to talent. That's hardly inspiring. This diagram depicts the life of an organization. The top line represents the growth of what the organization does. For a company, that measurement is usually money, profits, revenues, EBITDA. EBITDA means earnings before interest and tax. Uh, it's a financial term. Share price or growth in market share. Share price is stock market, and market share is how much market in a particular industry they have. So there are two different words. Market share is, let's say I say Geo is 50% market share in mobile phones, because or in SIM card, if you want to understand, in SIM cards. So half of the SIM cards sold all over India are Geo SIM cards. That is what market share means. But the metric can be anything depending on what the organization does. If the organization rescues lost puppies, then the metric would be the number of puppies successfully rescued. It is inherently simple to measure the growth of what an organization does. What's, after all, are tangible and easy to count. Understood? So, what they are doing, what then it's easy to count, it's easy to measure, it's easy to measure how many marks you get. It's not easy to measure how much effort you have put in, how much feeling you have behind that subject. That's not easy to measure. Only thing you can measure is the marks you get at the end of an exam. Like that. The second line represents the why, the clarity of the founding, purpose, cause, or belief. The goal is to ensure that as the measurement of what grows, the clarity of the why stays closely aligned. Put another way, as the volume of the megaphone increases, the message traveling through it must stay clear. So megaphone increase, that is just a metaphor. Okay. What he said in the previous line, same thing he's saying, but just in a metaphorical way. Um, The volume of the megaphone comes solely from the growth of what? As this metric grows, any company can become a leading company. But it is the ability to inspire, to maintain clarity of why, that gives only a few people and organizations the ability to lead. At the moment of which the clarity of why starts to go fuzzy is the split. At this point, organizations may be loud, but they are no longer clear. When organizations are small, what they do and why they do it are close parallel. Born out of the personality of the founder, it is relatively easy for early employees to get it. Clarity of why, understood because of the source of passion, is near. In fact, it physically comes to work every day. In most small businesses, all the employees are all crammed into the same room and socialize together. Simply being around a charismatic leader. Charismatic, we have seen this word with, it means charming, inspiring, someone who you want to follow. That is charismatic. We have seen the word charisma earlier, and this is just the verb form, I think, of that adjective of that. Yeah. Simply being around a charismatic founder, allows that feeling of being a part of something special to flourish. Although there may be some efficiencies to be gained for small businesses that are perfectly comfortable staying small, the need to articulate the why is not as important. For organizations that want to pass the school bus test, to become a $1 billion organization, or work at a scale large enough to shift markets or society, they need to manage through the split. The need to manage through the split is paramount. The split he's talking here is about the why versus what split. What he's saying in simple words is to become big, keep the why and what in tandem. Means keep passion and process together. One without the other will fail. In simple words, he's saying that. The school bus test is a simple metaphor. If a founder or leader of an organization were to be hit by a school bus, would the organization continue to thrive at the same pace without them at the help? So many organizations are built on the force of a single personality that their departure can cause significant disruption. The question isn't if it happens. All founders eventually leave or die. It's just a question of when and how prepared the organization is for the inevitable departure. The challenge the challenge isn't to cling to the leader. It's to find effective ways to keep the founding vision alive forever. To pass the school bus test, for an organization to continue to inspire and lead beyond the lifetime of its founder, the founder's why must be extracted and integrated into the culture of the company. What's more, a strong succession plan should aim to find a leader inspired by the founding cause and ready to lead it into the next generation. Future leaders and employees alike must be inspired by something bigger than the force of personality of the founder and must see beyond profit and shareholder value alone. Microsoft has experienced a split, but it is not so far down the line that it can't be put back on track. There was a time, not too long ago, that people at Microsoft showed up at work every day to change the world. And they did what Microsoft achieved, putting a PC on every desk, dramatically changed the way we live. But then their why went fuzzy. Few people at the company today are instructed to do everything they can to help people be more productive so that they can achieve their greatest potential. Instead, Microsoft became just a software company. If you visit Microsoft's headquarters at Redmond, Washington, you will find that although their why has gone fuzzy, it is not lost. That sense of a cause, that desire to change the world again, it is still there, but it has become unfocused, wrapped in a how and what they do. Microsoft has a remarkable opportunity to clarify their why and regain the inspiration that took them to where they are today. If they do not, if all they do is manage the what and continue to ignore the why, they will end up looking like America Online, a company so fast past their split that their why is indeed lost. There is barely a hint of the original why left anymore. America Online used to inspire. Like Google today, it was the hot company to work for. Hot means not temperature wise, but it was a favorite. It means favorite. People clamored to move to Virginia to work for this amazing company that was changing the rules of business. And it was true that, like all inspiring companies, AOL set in motion changes that profoundly altered how we do almost everything. They inspired a nation to get online. Their cause was clear, and their decisions were governed by their why. Their goal was to get more people online, even if their decision in pursuit of that goal wreaked havoc on their business in the short term. With their why in focus, AOL pulled ahead of their competition by deciding to change from hourly pricing for internet access to unlimited monthly pricing, a decision that created so much traffic it shut down their servers. Given the impact, the decision was neither practical nor rational, but it was the right choice to help bring their cause to life. That their system shut down with the additional traffic only pushed them to work harder to cope with it, to ensure that America could, in fact, get and stay online. So, this is an example of how this company AOL, America Online, they got internet. Today it's very easy, but the broadband which you have, that was not available at one point, or it was very slow or very expensive. So this is how this company tried to give internet to each and every house in America. In those days, having an AOL email address was a point of pride, a sign of being one of those who was a part of the internet revolution. These days, still having an AOL email address is a symbol of having been left behind. That the meaning of something as simple as at the rate AOL.com has changed so dramatically is additional proof that the company's cause has long since departed. Absent a clear why, the size and momentum are all AOL has to keep them going. The company is not inspiring anymore, not to those who work there and not to those on the outside. We don't talk about them like we used to, and we certainly don't feel the same way about them either. We don't compare them to Google or Facebook or any of the other industry changing companies of today. Like a massive freight train is like a malgadi, you see in the railways which carry luggage and go, not where passengers are there. That's a freight. Freight means luggage. Like a massive freight train with brakes applied, it will still take miles for this train to come to a complete stop. It's simple physics. At best, AOL size will help them putter along, but without a more compelling purpose, cause, or belief, the company is simply a collection of stuff. It will probably end up being chopped up and sold off for scrap, technology, or customers, which is a sad reality considering how inspiring AOL used to be. It is not a coincidence that successful entrepreneurs long for the early days. It is no accident that big companies talk about a return to basics. What they are alluding to is a time before the split, and they would be right. Sorry for that buzzing. It's bee is in the room, so we can't do anything about it. It's there in the light. Just ignore it. It is not a coincidence that successful entrepreneurs long for the early days. It is no accident that big companies talk about a return to basics. What they are alluding to is a time before the split, and they would be right. They do indeed need to return to a time when what they did was in perfect parallel to why they did it. If they continue down the path of focusing on their growth of what at the expense of why, more volume and less clarity, their ability to thrive and inspire for years to come is dubious at best. Companies like Walmart, Microsoft, Starbucks, The Gap, Dell, and so many others that used to be special have all gone through a split. If they cannot recapture their why and re inspire those inside and outside their organization, every one of them will end up looking more like AOL than the companies they originally were. Hmm. Start with why. What gets measured gets done. In the fall of her freshman year in college, freshman I think is first year of college, right? That they call freshman in US. Christina Harbridge set out to find a part-time job. Intrigued by the prospect of working in the antiques business. Antiques means like, like an gift shop, like old stuff. That's I didn't understand that. Sorry. In the fall of her freshman year in college, Christina Harbridge set out to find a part time job. Intrigued by the prospect of working in the antiques business, she answered a newspaper ad in Sacramento to do office work for a collector. Sacramento is a place in California, it's the name of a place. Harbridge soon found out, however, that the job was filing papers for a collections agent, and even then, she wasn't entirely sure what that meant. The collections office consisted of a huge room with dozens of phone stations, each staffed by a debt collector, making call after call to a long list of businesses and individuals who owed money. The setup of the room meant there was no privacy. Everyone could hear everyone else's calls. Howbridge was immediately taken by the harshness of the tone that all the collectors used with those from whom they aimed to collect unpaid debts. They would hound them and practically threaten them, she said. They would do anything it took to get the information from them. Howbridge recognized that the owner of the company and collectors were all kind, gracious people. They even helped each other out, listened to each other's problems, and even joined together sponsor a homeless family during the holidays. But when they wait on the call to collect a debt, these same people turned passive aggressive, rude, and often mean. So this is a company where she is working at Harbridge, which is like, if you take a loan, collection agency means you take a loan and you're not able to repay some EMIs. You might have heard of this EMIs. Then there will be some people who will call you and say, "Okay, you please pay your money back. It's due," and all of that. So sometimes some of these people can be rude, and she's explaining that why. It's not because they were bad people, it's because they were incentivized to be that way. So we think people were rude not because they were bad people, but they were incentivized. They got more money if they were that way. Their officious behavior made sense. Officious, rude, not good. What gets measured gets done. As well known sales coach Jack Daly says. And two, the world of debt collecting, the callers were given bonuses on how much money they collected. This has resulted in any industry that threatens, badgers, hounds, and provokes. It did take long until Harbridge found herself adopting the same attitude whenever she talked with debtors. I began treating people on the phone the way everyone else in the office treated them, she said, feeling like what she was doing was completely out of balance with her why. Harbridge decided there she Harbridge decided there had to be another way to go in my head that I was going to start an agency that collected by being nice, she said. People in the collections business, though, Harbridge thought. People in the collections business, though, Harbridge they should be thought, not though. Okay. So people in the collections business, those who collect EMIs, thought Harbridge knife. Knife means little like a child, not very smart, little stupid, if not crazy. And maybe she was. In the year 1993, Harbridge moved to San Francisco and started her own collections firm, Bridgeport Financial, steeped in the belief that agents would have more success treating people with respect. That badging it should be than. It's a typo. So agents would have more success in treating people with respect than badgering them. Than means instead of badgering them, please treat them with love, kindness, respect, even if you have to collect money from them. Harbridge built her company on her why, that everyone has a story and everyone deserves to be listened to her. There is a full stop here. Everyone has a story and everyone deserves to be listened to. Full stop. Her approach was to have her agents try to establish a rapport. Rapport means like a good relation. Establish a rapport with the debtor on the other end of the phone in the course of a 3-minute conversation. The goal was to learn everything they could about the person's circumstance. Did they have the means to pay the debt? Would they honor a payment plan? Was the reason for the failure to pay reflective of a short term situation? We would get people to tell us the truth, she said. Sure, we had a legal department, but we tried to avoid using it. Harbridge knew, however, that no matter her intentions, if she measured the results the same way as others, the same awful behavior would result. So she came up with an entirely new way to incentivize her people. She found a way to measure why. At Bridgeport Financial, bonuses were not given for the amount of money that was collected. They were given based on how many thank you cards her agent sent out. This is harder than it sounds. Sending out a thank you card, thanking someone for the time they spent talking on the phone, requires a few things. First, Howbridge had to hire people who believed what she believed. She had to hire good fits. If her employees didn't believe that everyone deserves to be listened to, it wouldn't work. Only good fit hires would be capable of creating an environment on the telephone that would actually warrant sending a thank you card, even though the purpose of the call was to ask for money. And with that, we will stop here. We have around 15 to 20 minutes to do a discussion.
Vineet, if you can, just read for another 5 minutes and then go for it. Have you stopped because it's a end of a chapter
Uh,
or a paragraph?
yeah, it's the end of a page. That's why.
Okay, okay.
Read.
Then go ahead.
Yeah. Harbridge measured why her company existed, not what they did. And the result was a culture in which compassion was valued above all. But what about the other results? What about her financial results? The ones most businesses pursue first. Bridgeport Financial collected 300% more than the industry average. What's more, most of the people and companies who were initially being pursued ended up doing more business with the original company that sent the collections agency after them in the first place. This is almost unprecedented in the collections industry. Harbridge's business succeeded not just because she knew why she was doing what she was doing, but because she found a way to measure the why. The company's growth was loud and her cause was clear. She started with why, and the rest followed. Most organizations today use very clear metrics to track the progress and growth of what they do. Usually it's money. Unfortunately, we have a very poor measurements to ensure a why stays clear. Dwayne Honor, for the past 10 years, Dwayne Honor has, sorry, Dwayne Honor has for the past 10 years run his own commercial construction company in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, a trade he learned from his father. A leader with a deep sense of purpose, he devised some years ago a brilliant system to ensure that his values are reinforced in his company culture. He figured out how to measure something most people can only pay lip service to: work life balance. Ono believes that people should not spend all their time at work, but rather they should work to spend more of the time with their families. Every employee at Honor's Construction is required to clock in the morning and clock out in the evening. But there's a catch. They must clock in between 8 and 8:30 and out by 5 and 5:30 p.m. Stay any later and they are taken out of a bonus pool. Because employees know they have to leave by 5:30 p.m., wasted time has dropped to a minimum. Productivity is high and turnover is low. So what he's saying is, if you give more time in your work, you will not get the bonus. You will get less money, in fact. So you only work in the given time. And because of that, people have stopped doing time pass and working more in the given time. And you can use this when you're studying also. If you feel that you have 10 hours to do a chapter, say, no, I only have 6 hours to do it or 2 hours to do it, whatever. And maybe your productivity will be much more and you will be able to finish it in that much time. Consider how much you get done the day before you go on vacation. Now imagine every day is like that. That's what Dwayne Honor figured out how to do. Because he figured out how to measure a value he holds dear, that value is embraced. Most importantly, because Honor's actions pass the salary test, others can clearly see what he believes. I think it's okay. We can stop. It's 9:44. We will take a couple of minutes.
Yeah, yeah, you take your, it's up to you, Vineet. You can do what you think is right.
Okay, so uh, what do you think? Let's start with, we'll do it one by one so everyone gets a chance to speak. Let's start with Taranjit ji. I think she's, at least I didn't see her last Friday, so maybe we can start with you, ma'am. Would you like to share what you understood from this paragraph, what you learned, what you liked, what you didn't like, and anything else you would like to share?
First thing, I would like to thank you, Vinny. You read so well with so much of passion, and your explanation is very good. Because there are new students, those who have a problem reading. So for them, it is really very good. Thank you so much. Talking about AOL, when you were reading, I just remembered I was one of the few people who had an AOL address. I still have it, even though I don't use it, but I still have that AOL address. Yeah, it is really very true. Like, you have to find your ways and means. Like Harbridge, she noticed so many things in a company which were not good. But then at the end of the day, it is not only your goodwill that counts. The collection, the amount, so many other factors are there that needs to you need to run a company. It is not that my passion only counts. The market price, the share market, or the employees that I have, the goodwill of the employees, everything go hand in hand. But yes, definitely there are ways and means to improve ourselves. Like how the collection market, it is really bad. We have it in India. I have a neighbor working from, and at the middle of the night, I can hear him yelling. So It is really bad, but yes, Habich took that thing to her heart, made a passion out of it, and she completely changed the situation. And the incentives, very truly said, what you get back in return gives you the urge to do that work. And the incentives that the employees got, like it was, if you collect more money, so you will get. So uh, slowly and slowly, that would it is not only over the phone when we are talking, it becomes your behavior when we are talking to somebody at home also, or somebody, friends also. So it becomes, you adopt that thing. It is not only like, it is not we are not in watertight compartments that I will behave differently when I'm working and I'll behave something else when I'm at home. So it runs into your personal life also. So Habris did a very good job that the incentives was giving a thank you cards. Here I remembered one of our LIC agents, he used to do that. Like anyone who had done something good, the development officer, always the thank you cards used to come. And we were so passionate. How many cards? Like there was a session of every 6 months where we had a meeting, and then we had to show how many thank you cards we had received. So it was really, it is such a simple thing, but it gives you that motivation to do the work.
Right. Yeah.
That's it.
My motivation to do this work is I would like to see Devamma. I don't know why Ravalya dropped off, but I want to see Devamma and Ravalya like top of the English game,
Yeah.
like becoming English.
Navalya also speaks very well, but she has some issue with her internet. She speaks very well.
So
Very, very enthusiastic girl with
Devamma,
lots of dreams. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Devamma, would you like to share, please?
Yes, sir.
You can share what you learned from the paragraph, what you liked, what you didn't like, if you agree with something, you don't agree, all those points. Please go ahead.
I think our fashion is very important when we want to do something, and we should keep it alive, and we should do the some works towards it, and
Yeah. So you said passion is very important. What is passion? According to you, what is passion? What do you think is passion?
some different ideas compared to others.
Okay. Passion is only some different idea compared to others. So for example, maybe uh, let's say you have a sister, I don't know, but let's say your sister wants to eat idli and you
Yes,
want to eat dosa. That is also a different idea. So is that passion?
not like that. Some very important things like
Yeah.
which is useful for the society and for our lives also.
Okay. So passion is a different idea which is useful. So can we say that passion is like,
According to me only, sir.
no,
I
we
don't.
are trying to find out a call. There is no, see, Devama, there is no correct answer. There is no wrong answer. Okay. All answers are correct.
Yes, sir.
They are just all trying to learn from each other. That is the biggest thing. So maybe we can say, passion can be also the energy which we feel.
Yes,
The
sir.
like it like your mind, you're always thinking about it. You love it a lot. You want to keep giving as much as. So passion is something where you're happy to give more than what you take. So you're happy to work for 10 hours, 12 hours. If someone tells you to do it in 4 hours and then you go home, but you give 8 hours because you love it so much. And like, let me give more, let me give more, as much as I can give. I want to do it. So that is passion. So let's ask, what is your passion, Devama,
Mm, mm.
in your life? Anything. It doesn't have to be something very big or something very high flung, like important to society and all. Society is fine. For 2 minutes, just leave society on side. What do you like?
I wanted to improve my programming skills.
Okay, you like programming.
Yes, sir.
So do you really like programming, or you just wanted to improve it because
No, sir. I like that.
you like
I
programming?
don't know some codes and that errors, but still I wanted to do that, sir.
Sorry, I didn't understand. What are you saying? You tried to do some course, but you were not able to
Yes, sir.
complete.
Errors, syntax.
Okay,
In code,
errors.
we have errors, syntax.
Correct, correct.
Yes, sir.
So what
I
about
don't know. Yes, sir.
you don't know that.
No, sir.
You don't
There
know.
is some errors are like that. Something we can't find ways to clear them.
Or you were not able to find some ways. So maybe you
Yes,
can
sir.
take the help of someone around you, or
Yes,
you.
sir. We have taken some teachers' help.
Okay, and were you able to solve it after that?
Yes, sir.
Ah,
You
you were able
can.
to solve it, right after that with your teacher's help.
Yes, sir.
In the end, you were able to solve it. So maybe tell us, why are you so passionate about coding or computer science? What about it that makes you like it so much?
So I like to work in IT company. If I wanted to work there, I should be very progressive and very talented in programming skills, so that I need to be learn that codes and all.
So that is the what, Devama. So you know what
Yes,
the book said, no? That is the what and how. So what are you doing to, like, maybe you're practicing code every day, you're learning a new language, you are seeing how to do questions and all that. That is your what, that is your how. But what about your why? Why are you doing it? And it could be a simple answers, because I want to make more money. That is
I'm interested in that, sir.
agreed. I understand you're interested in it, but my what I'm trying to understand, or maybe what we're trying to discuss here, again, no right answers, no wrong answers. I'm not trying to grill you. Uh, we're just trying to have a discussion, a conversation, so it can. And this is based on the book, because that's what the book is trying to tell us. So there is a what and there is a how, but what about the why? I understand you saying you're interested in it, but why are you interested in it? Like, for example, I will say, like, I am also into software programming. What I really like about it is why I am interested. One part of it is that I like that sitting at home on my computer, I can create something which a lot of people will use. I'm not very good with manufacturing, so I cannot make products, or I cannot, like, I don't know how to make anything else. But this is something which I know I can make, and other people will use, and that will make them happy. That will improve their life in some way, and that makes me happy. So that is my small why. There are other reasons also, like financial reasons and all that, but that is one of the small reasons which I have. You don't need to answer it now, but just think about it in the context of what we did in the chapter.
Yes, sir.
What is your why? Why do you like it? Because when your why is clear, then the what and the how will follow. Which means, if you understand कि हाँ यार, okay, for this simple thing, I am doing this, then you know how to do it, or how, what courses to study, what errors to solve, syntax. That slowly will start coming much easier to you. You will start getting more opportunities, you will start being able to learn what the things are, you will be able to find newer ways and things. Or you will see, oh, maybe I don't want to just be a software developer, but I can get into a support role. Maybe I'm good at speaking as well. Maybe I can get into software sales. Maybe, there are so many things which you could do. And today a lot of information is available online. One point I would like to share, especially if you would like to learn and improve English more, I was thinking that listening to audiobooks is a very good thing. So uh, do listen. There are a lot of free audiobooks online, and if you have regular access to internet, please listen to audiobooks. There are a lot of good books, and you can listen to them much better. You can pause it when you want to pause and read the book and listen to the book at the same time. So, and they are like professional speakers who do the audiobook. So it will be like 1,000 times better than me or whatever. So that is one suggestion. You can also listen to
Don't sell yourself short, Vineet. You're an amazing reader.
yeah, no, but I think it is a very useful thing. Like even if that's boring for you, but see some good English movies or something, because that's how we all learn English. Like some of the ways to learn is you can listen to English music, English movies. And what I would suggest, no, Devamma and to anyone else is uh, maybe half an hour or 1 hour in a day, however broken it is, but speak only in English in your family. Tell your family this is English hour. Okay. So maybe whatever time you like, maybe say 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock in the evening. Say this is English hour, and we will all speak only in English. Doesn't matter if no one understands one word. It's okay. But just speak in it. Slowly, 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 you will all learn. And it will become like the whole family can learn, and that will be good. Any last point? Uh, Sorry, Taranjit ji, please say.
You were saying about free audiobooks. Can you please share any website, or do you know
Audible.
where you can
Audible.
read?
Audible
Sorry?
is Audible. Audible.
Yeah, I have that. Audible, I have. In that, but free books are not there. Like all the children cannot afford. Like I'm taking some online classes for
Books
very
also.
poor.
Just Google it. I think. I think just I'll check. Let me check and I'll share it on the group. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, you
Thank you so much. Thank
Thank
you.
You,
you, sir.
you
thank you.
can try it even on YouTube. They have audiobooks on YouTube as well.
YouTube has audiobooks. Those will be free.
Yeah, and Spotify, I think also.
Correct.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Good night. Thank you once again.
Good night. Thank you so much, Vineet. Thank you,
Thank you,
Taranjit.
sir.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Irma.
Thanks.